So, welcome back to our foray into the Legend of the Five Rings universe. Our investigatory group has just come away from speaking with the innkeeper of the Inn of Many Paths, a peasant woman named Chiyu. They've gotten some information and have several avenues open to them as to how they wish to proceed. It is still mid-afternoon or so there's time left in the day. What are you going to do? Does everyone remember these avenues?
So I guess our options right now are we can go to the merchant district and look for Kizo, or we can go look for a moneylender in the Wallow named Doro, or also there is Kakito Amano somewhere around that we actually don't know where he is. And then I guess our last option is going to I guess the opium dens, which are, I guess there's two of them. So there's, I guess, there's a number of options available to us right now. So,
in your search for Doji Hiroshige, but you know him as Otomo Hiroshige.
Yes.
And none of you have any love lost for this courtier besmirching his the crane by protecting his imperial name.
Yes, totally fine with that. Let the crane do all the bad things. So I guess option wise, it's probably, if we wanted to look into stuff today, then maybe we should leave the opium dens for later, since those are more likely to be open later.
Good point.
So I guess maybe we should go check out the stuff that would not be happening in the afternoon or the evening time.
Did we have a location for Kakito Amano?
You do not.
No.
Okay. I suspect his friend is most likely to know, since it seems like neither of the moneylenders has yet admitted to being successful in finding him.
Yeah. And I guess that it looked like he was trying to sell his artwork, so the chances of him actually knowing where he is probably pretty high. It seems like he trusted him at least to sell stuff for him, so he would at least be concerned about him.
You also happen to know that along those lines, the man known as Kizo, the merchant known as Kizo, is an art dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So those might be related.
Perhaps we could accomplish two goals at once if we went to see Kizo. Maybe he'll know where Kakito Amano is.
All right. Yeah. I think that sounds like a pretty solid plan. So I guess we should head to the merchant district.
Sayaka looked at Seimei.
Well, this seems reasonable to me. I don't see why not.
All right. To the merchant district.
So the three of you make your way. Basically, I mean, the Inn of Many Paths, I believe, is in the merchant district. Let's see. Checking notes. Yes. So you basically just cross the market which is relatively busy, even though it's a lot of last minute hurried shopping. Though it's not particularly full of people, it's still busy. If that makes sense. There's like a bustle, a hurry to everything happening, and you go find any number of individuals asking for Kizo, and you are shown to a shop with a placard out front that says Splendid Visions. And when you step inside, there is a fair amount of art in this place on these scrolls hung up on the wall. And behind the counter, there is just a massive scroll case with just a couple of hundred nooks with rolled up scrolls inserted into them. And behind the counter is a grandfatherly man. He looks up at you and smiles and says, welcome to my humble shop, Samurai Samas.
We're looking for someone named Kizo.
That would be me. This is my shop. You honor me with your attention.
Are you familiar with Kakita Amano?
When you say this, he's his like business like grin sort of fades just a little bit, and the mention of the name seems to bring in him a sort of exasperated demeanor. And he says, I have heard of him. I am probably the last patron on Earth of his.
What do you mean by that exactly?
He smiles.
Sammy does not.
How do I
He's
put
not behind the mask. He's only.
How do I put this? No offense to the man himself. I'm sure that he is an honorable sort. But his art is perhaps not up to the quality that his family is renowned for. When it comes to crane art, mediocre might as well be, well, trash.
But you're still buying his artwork.
He smiles. It helps to have friends in hard times, and he is a very troubled young man.
Expound.
I do believe that his that providing for him will provide karma for me in the long run.
By troubled, what do you mean?
Surely, Scorpion Sama, you have an idea of what this place is like. I need not spell it out for you.
We're looking for Kakita Amano. Where can we find him?
At the moment, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in some time. A few days.
And where do you normally see him, or do you know where he stays?
I don't. He comes to see me.
Perhaps we could leave a message.
He
Or you
smiles.
might know someone we could leave a message with instead.
Hmm. He thinks for a moment. I have seen him with another unfortunate man. A crane courtier, I believe his name was, or his clan was. Hiroshige?
Yes, we would be happy to leave a message with him instead.
Well, there's trouble with that. Hiroshige is missing at the moment. He owes me quite a bit of money.
How much money are we speaking here?
I wouldn't wish to trouble you, honorable samurai, with the trappings of the merchant, but a fair amount.
Well, as it turns out, we're looking for both of them. So if you have any idea of their whereabouts or their possible whereabouts, please provide us with that information.
I would say that in this case, I am something of a victim in their disappearances as well. After all, it would do me no good if they were to never be seen again, owing me money as they do. If I knew, I would tell you.
Do you think there's anybody that would be the opposite of you in this instance? That would prefer to see them dead if they owed them money?
I'm not sure what you're insinuating, Scorpion Son.
Perhaps one of them has come to some rough end.
Well, that's very likely.
When Kakito Amano was last here, did he sell you anything, or why was he here? What was the nature of his business?
He looks a little cagey at the question of what exactly happened last time he was in Kizo's shop. And he says, I'm willing to aid in any way that I can, Samurai Sama. But things in Slow Tide Harbor are not quite the same as they are in the Imperial City, and I have my interests to look out for. What sort of interests do you have in this matter? I wonder. And how that might affect business in Slow Tide Harbor.
This is business for the for myself. It will not affect anything in Slow Tide Harbor. We're looking for these two gentlemen, and we will be on our way once we found them.
He looks at the rest of you.
How does he look? Because I have subtle observer, so is he lying? Like, does he seem comfortable, or
he seems like he is putting on a face for you for sure. But he definitely seems like somebody who's experienced in such things.
Man, how do I get him to break that shit?
Basically, the way that he's posing the question, you could take it as, are you here to mess with my business?
As long as you cooperate with us, nothing will befall your business or your interests.
Go and make me a courtesy check.
Oh man.
It's TN2. If you use the fire approach, it's TN1. Water approach is TN4.
Oh man, I forgot about these fucking approaches. Okay. God damn it.
Can I assist somehow?
No.
Okay.
Courtesy. Sure. Fire, I guess. Whatever. So 3 plus courtesy, so 5.
Is there no intimidate? I'm looking through the approaches. I don't see an intimidate.
Let's see. Technically, that sort of thing falls under command.
Yeah.
So it's just, let's see.
I forgot the rings are the D12s.
No, D6s, and the skills are D12s.
Okay.
Probably intimidation would fall under insight.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
What do the blanks do? Was that just not a
Yes.
success?
Yeah, it's just an empty face. So you get to keep a number of these results equal to your ring.
So 3.
Yes.
Where's the little chart thing?
It's in reference pictures.
What was the 10 for fire?
1.
Oh. God damn it.
Will you remind me what an opportunity is?
It is a thing that is not necessarily a success or a failure. It is something that modifies the roll.
I don't have to keep all of them, do I?
You have to keep 3 dice.
God damn it. Okay.
Dang it.
And if you keep the 10... Oh, wait, no. It's not 12. D10. So...
My 10 has a mistake on it. I have to figure out what that's supposed to be. Sorry.
What's that? It's a strife.
I used the symbol for strife, but the
It's an opportunity instead.
I'll keep 5, 3, and 1.
All right. It's not the most rousing of starts, as we get everything sorted out. 10 is an opportunity and a success. So,
Thanks.
Wait, what?
10 is a success and an opportunity, not a success and a strifle, like on the chart that we have.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'll keep that.
So it's the 10, the
5
uh-huh.
and the 3.
Okay. All right. So 2 successes. Keep my book open to the approaches. All right. So basically, you sort of go out of your way to assure this man that you're not here to mess with his business directly. And he basically tells you that the last time that Amano was here, Amano had accused him of being the cause of the disappearance of his friend Doji Hiroshige publicly, like in a really loud manner on the street that got people's attention.
He unmasked. Or
Pretty
did
much.
he? Okay.
And Kizo assures you that he had no hand in such things. Says, I am merely the head of a brotherhood dedicated to community improvement, and I have no interest in getting rid of those I loan money to.
Does he seem sincere?
I mean,
What
yeah.
else is, or who else is in this brotherhood you speak of?
He smiles. Like-minded individuals who may or may not have a stake in my success.
Have they also had dealings with
Amano?
Hiroshige, or Amano or Hiroshige, I guess?
Yeah.
None of mine, no.
And why would
However-
Amano think that you had something to do with this?
I'm sure his habit tends to make one think in irrational ways.
I see.
It would seem that my esteemed guests before me are not quite aware of the environment in the village.
It is an environment.
We only arrived here today, though. We have come across some things, but if you want to maybe inform us a little bit more, it will be appreciated.
I do suppose it would be helpful to you and, well, to the town at large that you are aware of with whom you're dealing in these matters. Kizo will inform you.
Third-party referencing. Okay.
There are 4 powers in Slow Tide Harbor. The Tortoise, of course, this is their samurai holding.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens here without their blessing.
And
There's also myself and my compatriots, my employees. There is also the woman known as Hana, who runs the Golden Dream.
Is that a...
that's one of the opium dens.
Gotcha.
She has had a uptick in business of late. due to some gaijin drug that she's getting from, well, their tortoise patrons. And there's Boss Yaguro in the Wallow. He owns the Green Rest. He seems to be laboring under the impression that he is being crushed between me and Boss Hana, but well, that's the nature of business, is it not? Location, location, location. And when you're in the Wallow, it can't get much worse. I could see him possibly being the cause of the disappearances, to try and send a message to get himself some notoriety, some of his sway back with the locals.
Can you repeat that last part again?
He basically said that he could see Yaguro getting rid of some some deader samurai to him to send a message to the locals to try and get some of his sway back, some heat on him, so to speak.
In your relationship with these other two, or I guess the other three, the tortoise and Hana and Yaguro?
Amicable, mostly. Again, Yaguro has been losing territory, so to speak, especially from Hana. Although I would say that I'm merely the anvil upon which he is being hammered. I'm not quite cutting into his game, but I'm not going anywhere either.
How does your business come into conflict with his?
It doesn't really. I don't deal in opium.
Of course. And yet, he feels discomfited.
But these things tend to have overlapping spheres of influence.
With the art world.
He looks at you just with this expression of, oh, you sweet thing. Just the naivety as he is explaining his criminal enterprise. It's definitely not art. I deal in things that the Empire at large might find, and yourselves might find to be distasteful.
Such as?
Gaijin curiosities. The tortoise are very adept at procuring these things, and I have a very lucrative agreement with one of the tortoise samurai. That would be Kasuga Yumiko.
When you say guiding curiosities, could you show us an example?
He smiles and nods and goes back behind the counter to the back room and comes back with a small wooden box and opens it up, and inside you see a small ceramic container with a stopper on it, which he pulls out and opens and pours a tiny bit on the counter, which immediately puffs into smoke. Gaijin pepper, for one.
Like the spice pepper? Sealy, like that's what.
It's gunpowder.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Sorry, I was like, wait, what? What's so funny? God damn it!
I'm just imagining a kind of pepper that like explodes into powder on or
Oh,
smoke.
I didn't hear the exploding part. That's what I was like. Oh.
Not explode, but what'd you say, Andrew? Puffs into powder.
Puffs into smoke.
Yeah, puffs into smoke, and I was just imagining it like on the pasta. Sorry.
You definitely would not want to eat this pepper.
I did not say that.
I didn't laugh in character either. My character's never had pasta.
He closes the box. Among other things.
I see. Well, if you do not know where either Kakita Amano or this Doji Hiroshige are, then I think that that would be all that we could ask of you at this point. So if there's anything else, I guess I'll look at the other two and say, I guess we'll be on our way.
As you wish. Please feel free to peruse my wares. He gestures to the wall, not to the illicit material.
Actual art.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anything else you guys want to ask him? If not, I think that we should probably check out one of these opium dens.
Have you also had dealings with a Ronin named Fubato?
I've never heard of this man.
She nods.
Perception, empathy. I mean, does he look like he's lying?
Nope.
Then one more name for you is fellow clan member of mine, Yasuke Suzaku. Does that name sound familiar to you either?
I'd heard that she died recently.
I see. Do you have any insight as to how?
Not particularly. Only that she was found in an alleyway, which is face down in the mud, which is an ignominious way for a samurai to go.
Indeed. I think that's all the questions I have.
She was known to you?
I heard about the death. I had no
I see.
feelings with her while she was alive.
Then she was not curious about the Gaijin.
Not many of your cast are. The tortoise have a unique relationship with the Gaijin, so it's not uncommon around here. But in else parts of the Empire, he leaves that hanging.
And your clientele is largely local.
My clientele is exclusively local. And
And lower caste.
and those unfortunate souls that wander here I also do business with the tortoise.
Thank you for your help.
In any way that I can. After all, as I said, I consider myself to be a victim of this disappearance as well.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn and walk out the door.
Why do you
Come
keep
again.
Why do you keep investing in somebody or keep giving somebody money when they owe you money?
I would not presume to explain to you, Samurai Sama, the methods that we merchants must employ.
Hmm. And what if I'm willing to hear it?
He smiles.
If you
Oh,
aren't careful, Bayushi-san, you will begin to develop curiosities. I'm just going to step towards the door to give Seimei a chance to have this conversation unobserved.
She'll leave. I guess he'll leave.
Oh, she wasn't trying to dissuade him.
So the three of you find yourselves back out on the street in the marketplace.
A dead end.
It seems that all roads lead to these opium dens, and I suppose at some point in time we'll have to go to them. There are two. Any preference on which one we should go to?
Well, if we go to the Green Rest, we will stick out like a sore thumb. I don't mind, but I'm not going to assume that you all are of the same mind.
I think we stick out regardless of where we go in this village.
That's true.
The Golden Dream is nearby, I think. And I guess we could go to the Green Rest as well, where it seems like maybe this Yaguro person has some more some bigger issues at hand. So we can take proximity, or we can take maybe more suspicion first. Sayaka-san, do you have any preference here?
I do not. I was thinking about a name I forgot to ask Kizo about. Your clanmate, Bayushi-san. The one with the cat mask.
That's right. I don't think we had a name for this this individual.
No, but if the mask was distinctive, he might remember.
And I don't remember anything about this at all.
That was just one of the missing people. Was someone with a cat mask from the Scorpion Clan?
He wasn't missing.
Oh, he wasn't missing. Okay.
He was Hiroshige had been seen with a scorpion with a cat mask, who is a resident of the town.
I have been misspelling that name. So
Which
bad.
name? Which name?
Hiroshige.
Just as a reminder to you don't have to get information specifically from named characters. You can ask around about Amano. Just like take some time to ask the general populace if they've seen him lately. Just throwing that out there as an avenue.
Sure.
Well, I guess while the others are deciding which opium den we should go through first, I guess I'll go ahead and ask around and ask the common folk if they've seen a Kakita Amano around.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that.
Use my Ibisu's blessing.
So you can make a commander courtesy check. And you can choose your approach.
All right. I guess I'll do commands with water. So,
Okay. So TN1.
So I guess I do the same thing. I have 3 water,
Mhm.
and I roll basically the same thing here. So I'll roll 2d6 plus 2d12, right? Or it's always 2d12.
It's whatever your skill is, and
Okay. So my rank is 1. So
yeah, so it'd be 1d12.
I got 1d12. Oh. Oh, shit, damn it.
There you go.
Oh, I rolled 2 by accident.
Well, we'll just take the first one.
Okay. All right, cool. I'll take the 12. Sounds good. So I guess I keep 3. So I'll keep the 12, obviously.
Mhm.
The 5 and the 6. Oh, I guess I take a strike for that one. So
you don't have a 5 because that was the one you.
Oh, that's right. I didn't keep, yeah. So 12, 6. I guess 12, 6, and 3.
Okay, so you can roll an additional d6 and d12.
Okay.
Because those are exploding successes. Okay, so
I roll a 1 and a 5.
a blank and an opportunity. So you have 2 opportunity, 2 successes, and a strife. So go ahead and mark down a strife.
So I'm making a strife. Oh, okay, here it is. All right, cool.
So as you ask around, I believe you said that you were leaving Seimei and Sayaka to figure out which opium den they wanted to go to?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was fixing my dice reference thing. She has, and also keep forgetting I'm muted. She doesn't seem to have a particular preference. She's letting Seimei lead the way on this one. Her own particular preference is to avoid the wallow as long as possible, but she recognizes that that's probably not going to be useful.
Seimei's okay with going to the Golden Dream or whatever it's called first.
Okay. So, as you ask around Takuma, it doesn't take you any time at all to get directions to Amano's apartment. And actually, as Semi and Sayaka consider their options for the minute that they do, you are directed to a place that you can even see from here in the Merchant District. Apparently, Amano's apartment is above a sandal maker shop.
Okay.
Here in the Merchant District.
Okay.
Well, that's easy. Well done.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and relay the information to the other two and see if this is a more desirable place to go take a look before we head to one of these opium dens.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess we'll head to the apartment.
Okay, so when you enter the sandal maker shop, there is a small peasant man, pretty advanced in age, pretty crooked over. He seems to be tidying up as though he's getting ready to close the shop down. And when he sees you, he gives you the obligatory fawning welcome and many bows and very pleased for your business, Samurai Samas, and all of that.
We're here looking for Kakita Amano. I've heard that he lives nearby or upstairs.
He, whenever you mention that, he sort of gives a very muted groan, and he says, "Oh, that fancy artist. Ah, I suppose he owes you money." I've already told all the other moneylenders. He's not here anymore. He moved out a couple of days ago.
We're not here to collect money. What would be the best way to address this dude?
You don't have to address him at all.
Oh,
You don't have to use any formalities for him. He's a peasant.
Yes.
no, that's fair. I didn't know if there was a common term, but I'm not trying to spurn him.
Oh, you could literally just call him Sandal Maker.
Oh, okay. We're not here to collect money, Sandal Maker.
Shoo boy. Oh no.
I didn't say
He was murmuring about sinister forces chasing after him or some other nonsense. Sounds like somebody owed money to me. He
When was the last time-
moved into a flop house in the Wallow. Can you imagine? I thought those Crane had standards.
they don't.
My man.
Why
And anyway-
do I roll to not make a little noise when he says that?
You don't. You just
Mhm.
blink repeatedly. Besides, I don't know how he expects to keep it a secret where he's living when he still goes to smoke that blue flame opium at the Golden Dream each week.
Do you know when he usually goes?
I don't keep track of his schedule, but I know that when he has money, if he has money, he makes time.
Do you know how he usually gets money?
Selling his shitty paintings.
Hmm.
I have a box full if you wish to have them.
Sure.
He waddles into the back.
You bought these paintings from him?
No, he just left them in a hurry.
Did he leave anything else?
Some other things. I sold them off.
Hmm.
Figured if he left them, then he had no interest in them anymore. And he owed me rent anyway,
When was the last time he stayed here?
5 days ago.
You rented the room out since then?
No,
Maybe look.
certainly. So he leads you into the room, and it's literally bare. There's nothing in there.
Okay. Tell me, Sandalmaker, what do you think of Kizo?
He is a respectable man, a pillar of the community. And if you don't say so, he might break your knee.
I see.
Well, you have no need of fearing me breaking your knees. You can tell me otherwise if you don't think so.
I would never worry about you breaking my knee, Scorpion-san. After all, at that point, I would never make sandals for you.
That's true. Anyways, after we get I guess the paintings or whatever.
You have a box of scrolls.
I'm not carrying any of them, so I'll go ahead and thank the sandal maker and take my leave.
Oh, I want the box. I'll carry it.
I mean, that's what you're there for, assistant.
Oh, good. Excellent. I'm less enthusiastic if obligated.
You look interested in carrying these deputies on?
Thank you, Bayushi-san. I will carry these.
No, I was gonna look at them to see if any of them are they really that shitty or
They're pretty bad. Like you are not much of a painter yourself, but you're fairly confident that you could do better. I mean, that's not true. You have illusions of grandeur. You know you can do better, but realistically, you have a better chance of doing better.
Yeah, these are not to the
And
standard.
certainly not up to Kakita standards.
Well, if he's rude to us when we find him, we can threaten to flood the market.
Something tells me that's kind of already happened. But people seem keen on buying this guy's shitty artwork for some reason.
Who's people? One person? Kizo?
I guess. Anyways. Well.
So, the three of you find yourselves sitting outside of the sandal maker shop. Do you have a concrete idea of where Amano is?
I feel like there's only one possible logical explanation at this point. I think we're gonna have to go to the Golden Dream.
That's where we decided that we were going to go anyways today.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I guess anything that we need to do before we go to this
probably find someplace where we can burn these paintings.
That seems unnecessary. Maybe he'll want them.
I think we can leave them on the ground if you do not want them.
I'm happy to carry them until they come in useful.
Torture him with his own artwork.
Maybe for wiping things off if this opium den is
Doji?
drippy.
I'm sorry. Oh no.
To wipe your socks off from the mud?
Mm-hmm. If I need to. If I'm feeling fancy. I'll write a poem about it.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll head over to the Golden Dream.
So you make your way towards the edge of the Wallow, where the merchant district meets the Wallow, and you find um, a fairly seedy-looking building. You pass a number of people sprawled in the street, very apparently in the grip of opium. As you approach the front door, it's a wide single-story building. The sign above the door features a clumsy drawing of a plump man sleeping on a cloud.
They probably got dude to draw that.
Inside, the floor is lined with dirty futons, and every one of them is occupied by an addict. The air is hazy with smoke. As you peer around, a short and muscular woman approaches you, and she seems to be in her 40s and wears her hair tied back, held in place with a sheathed knife. And behind her is a hulking, bare-chested enforcer with a big belly and hands like the size of dinner plates. He is even taller than Takuma-san.
Thick boy. I presume you're Hana?
She, unlike Kizo, who is all smiles, this woman is zero nonsense and zero formality. And she shakes her head. I'm Aoi.
I'm sorry. Sammy doesn't laugh. I do.
AOI. And I am the manager.
Hmm.
This is my friend. His name is Mugu.
Has I come looking for Amano, Kakita Amano. Is he here?
Not at the moment. But he is a regular customer.
Do you know when about he'll come? Or usually frequents this place?
That would be like predicting the wind. It comes and it goes. As fortune dictates.
Let's see. When was the last time he was here?
Yesterday. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Not at all. We just want to have a few words with him.
Perhaps you're familiar with the house he has recently moved to.
I don't keep track of such things.
Unfortunate for us.
If I did, she gestures around, I would have to keep track of everyone.
Is the proprietor here?
And what would be your business with the proprietor?
We just have some simple questions for her regarding Amano and an acquaintance of his.
And perhaps one of her competitors.
Yes.
Speak plainly, Samurai.
If it is possible that one of her competitors were engaged in unbecoming business, it would likely have become apparent to her. We hope she might be able to point us in that direction.
What direction exactly?
The direction of any unbecoming business.
She smirks and says, Boss Hana is the unquestioned. Well, basically, she owns this town. She has no worries about any of her competitors.
Others might not. I don't think others feel the same way.
What
And
others?
no time to comply with an investigation. She must be very busy.
Quite busy. She's not worried. She has friends in very high places.
Changing the subject back to Kakita Amano. Does he come here regularly every day?
Not every day. Once a week, usually.
And he was just here yesterday.
Yes.
I see.
I don't think he's particularly hard to find.
I'm just gonna grunt. Then, should he come here again today, please tell him that there are some samurai looking for him at the Inn of Many Paths.
She definitely has this expression that says, fat chance. In the sense that, like, I don't take messages. But she nods and says, of course, I'll do that.
Same just turns and leaves.
Yeah. I guess before we leave, can I take a look around to see if I guess they're being ingenuous about this and see if there's anybody who would sort of match Kakita Amano's description among the drugged out people.
You definitely don't see anybody that comes across as Crane, for sure. Even bedraggled Crane.
You're right.
Is there anyone here who looks like a samurai?
There's a couple, but they are in the midst of chasing the dragon, and likely not to be super helpful.
Are they wearing Tortoise Clan colors?
You've found that the Tortoise don't necessarily wear their clan colors a lot.
Sure. I just thought it was, worth a try.
Mhm.
Or if there were any wearing distinctively not tortoise colors. Or a cat mask.
There is no scorpion here.
All right. I guess we'll go ahead and take our leave then.
Mm-hmm.
I think we will have to go to the Wallow.
You're technically in the wallow.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
At the very edge.
Oh.
Okay.
You're at the edge where the merchant district meets the wallow.
Okay.
Is where this building is. And this is the nice one, and it's a dump.
Oh, good. I should have gotten some extra sandals. Can we go back?
You have some scrolls to wipe your feet off with, should you need it.
Good call. We're set.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go ahead and head out here. I think this is a dead end for finding him. We're just going to go to that flop house that Shoeboy mentioned.
Just ask the people if they know, I guess, around here.
Yeah, I guess we'll ask for directions or ask for the location of Kakita Amano's house.
Yeah, so eventually it doesn't take you but about 5 minutes before you eventually get led to a row house, and when you announce your presence, the door slides open, and you are greeted by a thin man. He probably would have been considered fashionably slim in his more respectable days, but his life here has reduced him to a really unhealthy gauntness. He is dressed in an ill-fitting kimono woven in flower patterns. His hair is loose rather than in a proper top knot, and it dangles like a veil around his face. And curiously, it appears that he has stopped dyeing his hair, and so only the tips of his hair is white anymore. His fingers and hands are stained by ink, and behind him is a small one-room apartment, literally, 10 by 10. And it is full of loose pieces of paper, and some of them with paintings and others are blank. And he is currently chewing on a thin wooden pipe. And he looks surprised at the group of you that are here. And he sort of gives you a wary look and doesn't say anything.
Kakita Amano.
You have me at a disadvantage.
Mbayushi Seme.
Bayushi-san? And he looks to the other two.
Asako Sayaka.
We're looking for someone that you may know.
He like, before Takuma sets in, he begins to look hopeful as these like clan samurai are naming themselves, and the second that he says he's that y'all are looking for someone, his expression just shatters.
Oh, boo boo.
Good.
We've been looking for you.
Have you? He immediately brightens up again. Have you come to become my patrons? He gestures to the side. I've been painting. Oh, and he sees Sayaka has a box of his paints. You found my lost works. Oh, this is so exciting. Trust me, I am not a fussy artist. If you are here to support me in my art and my craft, I can escape this place, and we will become all the rage in the Imperial City. My art will tear down the walls of current art.
Is he high?
No.
Okay.
Oh, boo boo.
I'm gonna make a real angry face at him saying tearing down walls. I appreciate it. We're looking for someone that you may know. I'll repeat again.
Doji. Hiroshige.
Oh. Yoshige. I see. Well, if you're the ones that took him, I assure you will not get me as well. And he goes to like fiddle, like he's fumbling with the door, trying to close it on you, like trying to slide it closed. But he's just so like thin that like even if you just put your hand up to stop it, like he can't get past your arm.
I'm just gonna set my hand on the door to prevent it from closing. If we were the ones who took him, we wouldn't be looking for him.
Who took him?
That's
Just
just
eat it
really
down.
such a good point. We took him and lost him.
Well, it would seem that You're doing what your clan does best. Bullying. He looks at Takuma. Fine, I'll help you. What do you want to know?
We're looking for any information on his whereabouts. Where did you last see him?
Go ahead and make me a command check.
Okay. Let me use Earth for this one. I guess it's reason.
Okay.
I don't
So,
think
trying to be reasonable. I
Yeah.
see.
I don't think I want to charm him.
TN1.
TN1.
Does he still have his dice show?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I'm making sure.
But he does not have his blue and white clothing anymore.
So, the power of reason. Or... Actually, let's see. I have to keep.
You have to keep a number of dice equal to your ring.
Okay. Yeah, this guys.
It's not bad.
All right. So based on the chart, we go. We'll keep the 8. We'll keep the 6. Oh no, this is supposed to end 6. Actually, yeah, 8, 5, 3. Fine, that's fine. 8, 6, 5, and 3.
Okay, so go ahead and re-roll your 6. Blank. Okay. So, when you tell him to share what he knows, he launches into a story, and this is the story of someone who habitually smokes opium, and so it is prone to tangents and wandering and wheeling back around to, will you buy my art, and then back on point. But essentially, if you ask about what happened when Hiroshige vanished, he will tell you that the night that he vanished, the two of them spent some time at the Golden Dream with their friend, a Ronin by the name of Hade, Hade, who lives and works at the Waiting Cat gambling den in the Merchant District. And during this time, he basically really sort of pathetically avoids saying that they were actually smoking opium at the Golden Dream that night. But he explains that Hiroshige had lost the last of his money earlier in that evening at the Waiting Cat. But he, Amano, had gotten lucky, and so he treated both of them, as well as Hade, to a night, or a celebration of good fortune at the Golden Dream. And eventually, though, all three of them ended up quarreling over money and debt, and Hiroshige stormed off into the night. And Hade left to visit his lover at a brothel on the dock, in the dock district. And Amano spent the rest of the night at the Golden Dream. But then a couple days later, when he realized that Hiroshige was missing, he went looking through the neighborhood and found an alleyway near the Golden Dream where there was evidence of a struggle. And at this point, he sort of says, I even told the magistrates Yuriki and they didn't even care. They're probably in on all of this. And he tells you, he gives you the approximate location of the alleyway in question. But afterwards, he and his friend Kasuga Toru, one of the Tortoise Samurai, searched on and off for Hiroshige, and initially they suspected he had run afoul of one of the moneylenders he owed, Kizo or Doro, and basically they both wrote it off as something bad happened to them. And Hade did not help search. Hade just shrugged and said that people disappear sometimes, and suggests that Hade might be part of it too.
And just from, I guess, recollection perspective, Kasuga Toru is one of the people who was missing, or just one of the people who was a known associate?
He's one of the people who's missing.
Okay. All right. This location of the alleyway, does this match up with where the Yasuki Samurai was found?
Yes. Giving you the impression that he might not know what actually happened there.
Okay. I guess I'll ask him if he's aware of this Yasuki Samurai.
No, never met her.
Okay.
But that's everything I know, I swear. And now that you honorable magistrates know, perhaps I could make a painting to commemorate your great investigative skills.
I'm sure we would not want to begin such an endeavor until our investigation is complete.
Oh, but you've done so much already, surely.
No, I'm certain.
Paint is expensive anyways. Save it
Well,
for your...
That's what I'm saying. Paint is expensive, but with you as my patron, you could give me the money that I need in order to fund such...
I'm sorry, we're not going to become your patron.
I see. Well, and he goes to try to close the door again.
Oh, boo-boo.
My hand's still there, so
He struggles impotently against your crane or your crab bulk.
Amano, just leave.
I'm sorry.
You should just leave this place.
I can't just leave this place. It takes money to leave this place, which I would have if you could be my patron. As I said, we could go to the Imperial City.
What debts did you quarrel about?
Well, they weren't my debts.
Why did it upset you then?
What do you mean? Why did it upset me?
Why was there a quarrel if they were not your debts?
Because Hade is a very, very a fair weather friend, as it were, and Hiroshige-san, well, he had some serious debts, and well, they, it's money matters. Distasteful to talk about.
What's a fair weather friend?
It's somebody who's your friend when
Only
things
when
are
it's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds as though they were also affairs of the heart. Or are you suggesting that Hade's friendship was entirely money.
Well, he is a
Commercial.
Ronin, so what do they
How
believe in
interesting.
anyway, right?
Can you point us toward his lodgings?
I don't really know where he lives,
What
but I
about
do
his mother?
know. Well, she works over in the near the docks. Ikuye is her name.
Sorry, who works over near the docks?
Hade's lover.
Oh, got it.
Was Hiroshige taking on the debts for these outings all the time?
No. Hiroshige is even worse with money than I am.
Oh yeah. What do you mean?
Some people are just bad with money.
Is there anyone in particular you suspect of having harmed him? Who do you fear?
He looks very when you say who do you fear, there is the faintest spark of that samurai dignity that kind of burns up in him, and he begins to try and be offended. You can make a courtesy check if you wish to try and
Ooh.
appease him.
Do I want to appease him, or do I want to try and goad him into talking more? Because I don't really care that much if he likes me, but
He doesn't seem like somebody that is particularly susceptible to being goaded.
fair enough. Okay, well then, yeah, I'll make
He
him hurt.
looks like somebody that can be bribed. He has proven that he is somebody who definitely can be bribed.
Fair. I just have big monies. Do I have small monies? I think I have 5 somethings.
5 koku?
Yes. Are those all in koku, or do I have like 5 koku worth of smaller?
There are smaller denominations,
Okay.
but you can see that it might not just be a matter of money, but a matter of need. If you get my drift.
You mean like addiction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will go ahead and make a courtesy check to try and calm him down from his fury.
Okay, what approach are you taking?
I'm going to go with could I use fire to appeal to his vanity?
You certainly can.
Okay, let's do that. So,
TN3.
so it's number of skill dice 6 plus courtesy level D12, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, not in that window though.
Weak.
Oh. No bueno. Let's see. 2 opportunities, 1 success, and 3 opportunities and a
Success.
Success. So what are the opportunities to?
Basically, they there's a whole chart of things that you can do with them.
Interesting.
In this case, there is something that you can learn extra from him, but the result is that you try to appeal to his vanity, but you find that this man has long since forsaken vanity for the cold truth of addiction. He is not particularly vain.
Mhm.
He is desperate, and so while he still has his his dice show, he long since got rid of his crane clothing, his beautiful crane clothing, and stopped dyeing his hair and all of those things that would be considered rather vain given his position. He is no longer into that sort of thing, and thus you struggle to get him on that account. And so he basically says that he doesn't really have anything else that he can share, but he does say that the Scorpion Bayushi Naizo might know more. He says that I've seen him around town, and he thinks himself superior to us, as though anyone living here can say that. Blech.
Do you know this by Yushi Naizo?
I don't know him personally.
Do you know if he knew Hiroshige?
I'm sure he knows everything about everyone here, as Scorpion will want to do, all the deep, dark secrets.
Excuse me?
He looks over at Semi and just sort of stumbles from it. Well, it's the reputation of your clan, surely.
That was a compliment then.
Certainly, yes.
See, Sammy? Compliment. Nice guy.
A plus guy. Does he wear a mask?
Cat mask.
Oh. Oh. Did you say he knows where that guy is?
He doesn't.
Okay.
Well, I
Thank you.
assume that since you're not here to be my patrons and I've told you everything I know, that you can leave me alone now.
Thank you for your help. I'm glad that we could return your priceless artwork
Your
to you.
lost artwork.
All right, I'll go ahead and let go of the door now, and unless
I'll
you
hand
guys
him the
have
box.
any additional questions for him.
He when you hand him the box, he doesn't seem ready for it, and it
Mhm.
spills out onto into the mud just outside the door, just right at your feet. And he just
Oh, no!
he falls on his knees and just tries to scoop them away from the mud.
Oh my gosh. I almost want to just take him behind the fucking apartment. Mm.
These kind of folk will usually meet their own end.
You want to start a war, Sammy? That's how you start a war.
Let's do it. Fuck this. Fuck this whole investigation. War seems better.
All right,
Anyways,
so I'll go ahead and take my leave at this point. I think he's about as useful as. I think we need to take a look at this this alleyway, maybe.
it's a trap.
It always is.
Well, with at this point, night is sort of beginning to close in.
All right. So I guess the question is whether or not we actually want to be looking into disappearances at night.
Probably not. Not right now, anyways.
That's a good point.
Um,
I don't know. Sam is real pretty. We could use him as bait.
yeah, he is pretty. Sammy would just say, I think that's what we should probably call it here for this evening. I don't think doing any more investigation throughout the night, especially in a place where we seem to cause quite a stir already, would be in our best interest.
Of course.
I would agree.
Okay.
Where's the waiting cat? The waiting cat is in.
It's in the merchant district.
Okay.
Is it on the way back?
Gambling den.
Hmm.
It's a little past where you're going, but
Uh,
everything's within a couple of minutes walk. It's not like a
mhm.
huge city or anything.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Can I ask if there's a Ronin working at the gambling den? Can we guess it's probably security? Or are there probably a wide variety of roles that he could be filling there?
It could be a wide variety of roles, but it's probably just as a bouncer.
Okay. Thank you.
So what do you do?
Go back to the Many Paths Inn, I guess.
See if we can get something edible for dinner. Oh.
So you guys make your way back out of the wallow and into the merchant district, and there are several vendors that are selling food that is certainly edible and actually even pretty good. Seafood right off the dock.
Oh, fair enough.
Fish on a stick, I guess. I don't know.
So, after everything we've heard today, do we think it most likely that he has disappeared into the hands of a creditor? Or is there something more involved going on, do you think?
It would seem that his debts most likely got the best of him, but I guess we still have to figure out exactly where or who. If we can, I guess what is our responsibility here for Otomo-san? Are we supposed to bring him back?
Good question.
Well, certainly, we guess that maybe a moneylender might have killed him. Is probably not going to fly at the back in the Imperial City. So you probably have to figure out what exactly happened to him.
Andrew, I'm imagining my character probably doesn't, but do we know if opium smoke is normally blue?
It is not.
Okay. She would like to point that out then, that, who was it? Hang on. That Amano was into blue smoke opium and not the usual stuff.
Blue flame, the Sandalmaker said.
Oh, blue flame, thank you.
Did anybody recall seeing what they were smoking at the Golden Dream?
I was trying not to look.
I looked, so I guess I would have seen.
You have no frame of reference for like what even opium normally is, other than just like a sweet smelling smoke. But you definitely didn't see anything that looked out of sorts there from what they were smoking.
I know Scorpion have a big hand in the opium trade.
Mhm.
So,
You've never heard of this.
okay.
Yeah, you've never heard of this. So this, if it's something that that is happening specifically here, as far as you know.
Okay. Must be
But
that
the
guy's-
but at the Golden Dream, you didn't. Neither of you noticed anything that stood out as like, blue smoke or anything like that. Just this sickly sweet smell of opium.
Mhm. Hmm.
It seems strange to me that multiple samurai have gone missing. And this is an interesting crossroads of vice and unusual curiosities, as Kizo described from the Gaijin.
Yes. And it does seem that a lot of people who have something to do with Hiroshige have in fact gone missing. So maybe there's more to it than just this. But I think we should take a look at the this alleyway and see if there's anything that we can find.
In the morning?
Sure.
Would you like to go tonight? I'm willing, but I think we'll probably see better in the morning.
I think waiting for the morning may be better. Especially if we're looking for something, it'll be harder to see at night.
Mm-hmm. Well, shall we call it a night?
Same.
I certainly don't mind, unless you guys are down for a game or two.
A game.
Let's go.
Were you thinking of stopping by the Waiting Cat? I suppose we were waiting until they got busier.
Hmm. I wouldn't mind a game or two there.
Sure. I guess we can take. So where is the Waiting Cat relative to this alleyway?
It's further away. The alleyway is
It's probably
in the wallow.
it's in the wall.
Yeah, because it's next to the Golden Dream.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And so it's sort of out of the way. The Waiting Cat is in the Merchant District, up a ways from the inn.
So we can just go there and then go to bed.
All right. Yeah, we can take a look. We can stop there and try to get some more information.
And Sammy can play Go.
Yes. Let's see if we can find a Hade.
Oh. So you guys eat your dinner and then make your way to the Waiting Cat. And as it seems to be common in Slow Tide Harbor, on your way to the Waiting Cat gambling house, you pass several people who are openly inebriated, but whether that's on sake or opium is hard to tell. A burst of loud voices, laughter, and groans greets you as you pass into the gambling den. People of all stations are crowded shoulder to shoulder around low tables. Staff with headbands around their foreheads kneel at the head of each table, calling the bets and throwing dice. And the rattle of the dice is met with a chorus of noise from the customers. Yeah, so there, there's some bouncers and then just the tables and all of that. It's pretty busy at the moment.
Well then, I will look around the tables to see if Hade's over there.
Do we know what Hade looks like?
You don't.
Okay.
So what Seme is saying is that he is going to investigate the tables very thoroughly for Hade's presence, and slips in
Just-
between some patrons. With a small sack of corn.
Basically.
Meanwhile, there are people that appear like they might know if you ask them, i.e., the bouncers. For you other two.
I would like to ask one of the bouncers,
About?
lean forward and see if they're wearing name tags.
They're not. They are Ronin.
Just checking. Excuse me, are you Hade? Ronin Hade? Or your nice friend here?
He smirks. I don't know Hade. Don't want to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He used to work here.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Used to. I've been misled. How long has he been an ex-employee?
A few days. He crawled into his pipe. Last time he showed up, he couldn't even stand up straight.
A few days. Well, unfortunate for me. Thank you for your help. Do you know where he lives? If he's in his pipe somewhere, maybe I can smoke him out. I'm going to bed. I was angry myself.
Way to go.
No, I have no idea. Like I said, I don't want to know. He lost his room here. That's where he was staying.
Grimmer and grimmer.
Where do vagrants go to sleep? I don't know.
She doesn't mention that she's heard about this alley over by the Golden Dream. Instead, she makes polite thank yous and heads back to pass this information quietly to Takuma and Seimei.
Well, if he's not here, then I guess we may have to look elsewhere.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've been to a brothel.
Are we in a brothel right now?
No, not yet.
Oh,
That's where his lover has gone.
this is true.
His lover works can be found.
I guess I'm gonna ask the same bouncer if they've seen Doji Hiroshige, or if they know who Doji Hiroshige is. Andrew's muted right now, so.
This Ronin doesn't seem to know. He seems to have started fairly recently, maybe due to a recent opening in positions.
Interesting. Okay.
How's it going, Seimei?
I don't know how Go goes, so I don't know.
Well, this is not Go. This is Dice.
Oh, well.
Go is a venerated game of strategy and honor. This is gambling.
Oh.
Oh.
It's still a game, though, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, Sammy will just peel himself away from it. And, just say, my investigation went south. I didn't find anything. Don't even know who Hade is.
Unfortunately, he doesn't work here anymore.
That would explain it.
It would appear that he was fired a few days ago due to his addiction.
And then I guess the next logical step would be to go visit the lover. If she really loved him, then maybe she might be taking him in.
So what do you do?
She's on the dock side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the brothel.
Oh, before bed. Okay.
You know,
Yeah, that's the optimal time to go to the brothel.
Yeah, that would be true. That would be when she would probably be working. So
Are we sure we want to interrupt her when she's working as
Oh,
opposed
yes.
to?
Mhm.
You okay?
well, there's a chance that she may not be there if she's not working. So
Guess that's true.
We can.
we don't have to interrupt her while she's with a client.
So the three of you make your way towards the docks. While you're there, you do happen to notice that there is a ship that is not like any Rokugani ship you've ever seen. It is very much a Gaijin ship with triangular sails. Definitely not like anything you've ever seen before. Moored some ways away, but it's not hard. You ask around and find the place where Ikuye works. And she meets with you after you wait a little while for her to finish with some business.
Ikuye.
Yes. What can I do for you, Samurai Sama? Do you need some tension relieved?
No, I'm good. Hade, I understand that you guys are a couple.
No. No longer seeing him.
Is this as of a couple of days ago?
Last night. Showed up, he couldn't even stand up straight.
Hmm.
He demanded money.
I'm so
He's been-
sorry.
He's been like that ever since his friend went missing. Hiroshige, I think his name was.
I understood that they weren't very good friends. Well, that Hade might not have cared for him as much.
Hade doesn't care for much of anything.
How did they know each other?
Well, they indulged in their habits together.
But why would, if Hade didn't care much about anything, why would he suddenly feel compelled to indulge as much as he has been since his friend disappeared? Did he say has he witnessed anything?
I don't know. We didn't talk about anything like that.
And the last time you saw him was last night.
Yes,
Where?
here.
Do you know where he lives?
Well, he lost his job and lost his room. So last night he smelled of horse dung. My guess is probably a stable somewhere.
Man, how many stables are in this fucking place?
At least 14.
Oh God.
Any close to his apartment or here?
I don't know.
If we wanted to find Hade, where do you think we could find him right now?
Well, if he's not smoking, he's probably sleeping.
And which of the dens did he like to go to?
Whichever one he could afford at the moment. My guess is neither at the moment because, well, he lost his job. And I certainly wouldn't give him money.
Have you heard of this blue smoke opium?
Blue Flame?
Blue flame? Yes.
We don't indulge in that sort of thing here.
No, but have you had clients speak of it or heard of them speak of it before?
I'm sorry, Samurai Sama. I don't know.
Does she seem earnest about that?
Very earnest. She seems very nervous that she's talking to you.
Have you ever-
In the you are a samurai, I am a whore sort of way. Like the clash of station is very great here.
Can I try and put her at ease?
You can, but you're not going to get really any more information out of her that matters.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I guess with that, I'll go ahead and say thank you, and then we'll take our leave from here.
Mhm.
So you come out smelling super perfumed.
Oh, nice.
Once they are out of earshot, Sayaka would like to murmur quietly to the other two that she knows that it's probably a very bad idea, but it might be wise to make the trek all the way back over to the Wallow to see if by any chance a certain alley has turned up a certain Ronin in the last couple days. Or in the last, since yesterday.
In like the last 24 hours.
Yeah, since it seems to have a collection, it might not be a bad place to check.
Wait, a collection of what?
Of bodies.
Bodies, yeah. At least according to Kikita Amano.
No, he said there was a sign of a scuffle. He didn't say there were bodies.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was at least one body though that was found there.
You connect the dots that he probably saw the aftermath of the crab samurai
Oh.
and assumed that was Hiroshige.
Oh. Well, that'll save us a trip.
Yes.
Nix that, please.
SC trying to keep you all focused.
Appreciate it.
The only thing I could assume to do is try to look at the stables. Or trying to find the stables close to where Hade lived.
There is still the other opium den, and perhaps if the Golden Dream is the premier opium den, and Hade can no longer afford that, he may be at the other one. Where are we relative to the Wallow right now?
You're a few minutes away.
Okay.
Well, she did say he lost his job, so he won't be able to. He most likely wouldn't be able to afford it, especially if he just lost his room as well.
And it'd only take you a couple hours to check all the stables in town.
All right.
If that's what you want to do.
Do we want to try that before we retire, or do we want to take a look at the other opium den?
That sounds miserable, but probably dutiful.
Which one?
Checking
Both?
all the stables.
It'll let us get us a better feel for this place, too, I guess.
Oh, good, a better feel. You are absolutely right. Bayashi-san.
So,
Let's begin our search.
So you guys take a couple of hours and you conduct a search of about 24 stables in the Dockside District, and eventually you find one in which there is sprawled in the hay at the back of the stable a bedraggled man dressed in garments that were once gaudily multicolored but are now torn and stained and ugly brown. A katana in a battered sheath lies in the straw next to him. A wide, brightly embroidered eye patch is tangled in his hair, pulled up to reveal that he appears to have two undamaged eyes. And as you guys walk up, there's a long snore that emerges from his mouth. But as you enter the stable, something feels off. Like there's a nauseous feeling in your stomach that kind of kicks in, all of you at the same time.
Yay, we found one of the missing dudes. Hade is Mr. Gaudy Eye Patch, yeah?
Hade is got an eye patch. Fubato is the
Oh, wait. Oh, and this guy also has an eye patch? Is it
Fubato.
Gaudy?
You had no description of Fubato. You had a description of Hade, who has an
Oh.
eye patch.
Dang it, okay.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll go over to.
Before you go in, can we make some kind of an investigation check to figure out what seems off?
You have to get close in order to
Okay.
figure that out.
I'll walk forward.
Okay.
And I guess the wave of nausea makes me second guess my normal approach, and I also take a look around to see, I guess, whatever feels off.
There doesn't seem to be any outward cause to it. It's just a feeling that just kind of overwhelmed you. However, Sayaka, as you get close, you can go ahead and make a theology check.
Yay! I have that. Okay.
This might be something spiritual in nature.
Would this be a theorize or a survey sort of thing?
I don't know. Which way are you taking?
I think it would be survey. I think I'll go with water.
Okay. TN2.
Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, so it's... I think that's right. Okay, 5, 2, and 10.
Okay.
You said it's TN2?
Yes. So 2 successes.
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. As you sort of survey the area, you have heard descriptions of this sort of feeling, and you get the feeling this might be Maho. Blood magic.
Oh, shit. She's going to try and stop Takuma with a Tarataka-san. Please wait.
Something's wrong.
I suspect Maho. Which is like, that's pretty fucking blunt.
I guess I'll be taken aback a little bit, but I guess in seeing how earnest she is with that statement and how blunt it was, I'll go ahead and ready my weapon, I guess.
Okay.
What would I do to look around and see if I can see the source or further clues? Or would it just be go to him?
You can use the ritual to commune with the spirits.
Excited. I want to do that. Okay. Looking at my rituals, I've never done this. But I have a list. Where did I put it? Oh, I don't have a list. I have invocation. I don't know what any of this means. I am useless.
All right, so you can make a TN1 theology check,
Okay.
and you choose the element in which you wish to appeal to that type of spirit.
Okay.
Probably void.
Okay. That sounds good. Exciting. Yay. TN1 theology check. Six, 2, and a 12. Oh, okay. And I keep, oh, I did that wrong. No, I did that right. Okay. I keep 2 of them, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But they're both, I'm going to keep both of,
So you keep an exploding success on the 6, right?
and now I'm at 3 strife.
Right. And then the 12 also explodes. So you reroll both of those
Okay.
and add those. You get to keep these as well.
Okay. Now I'm at 4 strife. That's a lot of strife. Do I have to reroll them? I have 4 successes now. This is lots of successes. I don't need this many successes.
Let me make sure.
I still have two more composure before I
All right. Yeah, I heard you.
become compromised. While he does that, I'm going to read up on being compromised.
I'm not sure if you have to keep. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
I gotta step away. Sorry.
No worries.
Oh, you get to choose to keep or drop it. So
Oh, okay.
you don't even have to keep the
Extra
stripe.
strife. Okay.
Yeah, you could keep the 12 and the 2, which is a null, I think. Is that right? Yes.
Oh. Excellent. Okay.
Well,
no, it's an opportunity in strife. Yeah.
So you're getting a strife either way, but you don't have to. You could take the 2 successes and then they don't have to explode. You're just taking a strife.
Okay.
So, but yeah, whenever you go to sense the kami that are in the area around you,
Mm-hmm.
you sense kansen.
I sense what?
Kansen, which are evil spirits
Oh.
that seem to be swarming around poor Hade. He doesn't seem like he is aware of this, but that is definitely he has been targeted with a Maho spell.
This man is accompanied by evil spirits. Someone has put a nasty spell on him.
Then I suppose we should maybe do something about this.
Can I try a cleansing rite?
You can.
Okay. And isn't there a version of like spending willpower, like using
Like a
strife
void-
to get?
It's a void point.
Okay. I think I might like to do that on
Uh,
this.
Okay.
Okay. Where do I track that?
Should have a spot on there for void points somewhere.
Okay, there, found it. So I'm going to spend a void point.
Mhm.
How do I make notes? It is. Okay.
TN3 Theology Void.
Okay. Wish me luck. D6.
You need all those exploding successes on this one.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. And the void point, does that give me extra dice or does that give me a success?
Hold on.
Oh, this is a downtime activity.
Yes. It's taking you minutes, but he doesn't seem to be waking, so lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I have my Tetsuo ready in case he wakes up.
She'll explain what she's doing before she starts just, waving incense at people.
Yeah. I presume that I have, I guess, a working knowledge of what she's talking about, though.
Yeah, you're familiar with it. You might not know the ins and outs of invocations, but you definitely know what constant are and how they affect people. You roll one additional ring dice. So the
Okay. And I just realized, if I'm understanding the opportunities right,
you can add on the effects of techniques by spending those opportunities.
of techniques.
Yeah, the techniques that you're using have opportunity expenditures that you can make that modify the outcome.
Oh, I see. The techniques are the
The rituals and the shuji and the invocations and all those.
okay.
Anyway, I am going to step away for a few minutes, so feel free to role play out your ritual. Sorry for that.
All right. So
if I'd taken the opportunity and strife on the last one, I might have been able to reduce the TN of this check to interact with. I guess this would be different.
yeah, I think it's still the same.
Okay.
So I think we just have to. I think you have to go ahead and try it.
It occurs to me that it's interesting that samurai are dropping like flies. A few people have mentioned after Hiroshige disappeared. Before he disappeared, he was apparently acting much like Hade was acting shortly after he disappeared. I'm concerned that Hiroshige might also have been target of this Maho spell that I'm cleansing right now.
It makes sense. If we have people acting as if they cannot stand and cannot control themselves and are acting very differently from how they seem to have been behaving before Maho. being involved, I guess, would make complete sense. But if that is the case, then this village is in danger.
Do you think this blue smoke opium is a Gaijin curiosity?
I don't know if it's a guiding curiosity, but maybe it sounds like it has something to do with this Maho. Maybe a conduit for it. Which means maybe the Amano-san may be the next victim of it. But first, I think we should focus on cleansing whatever evil spirits are present here.
Well, her thing fails. I have
No.
TN3. I have a success, and a strife, and not enough successes. 2 opportunities.
So you have a success strife, and 2 opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So then you need 3.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
My ritual failed. I took 1 strike. I had a success, and strife, and 2 opportunities.
Okay. So, which ones did you keep?
The success and the... Actually, that's a good question. If it's a TN3 and my... Wait, why did I only roll 1? I'm sorry, I think I needed to roll 2d12.
Mm-hmm.
No. The d12 is the
Skill.
and that's a theology roll. Okay,
Mhm.
so that was right. So if my ring rating for that is a 2, I can't actually get a TN3 unless I get an exploding success, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then I probably should not have done that at all. That was probably a complete waste of time. That's okay. It was a good learning experience. So I would have kept the success and strike. Or, as long as I'm failing, does it do me any good to keep the strife instead of the opportunity?
Probably
No.
not.
No.
Okay. Well, then I'll just take 1 of the successes and 1 of the opportunities and keep those and fail.
Okay. So, you take a few minutes to conduct this ritual to try and cleanse the Kansen away from Hade, and due to your relative inexperience, and this is probably the first time you've actually tried to practically get rid of Kansen beyond theory.
Mm-hmm.
It proves to be too difficult, and your attempt fails.
So she backs back up away from him, shaking her head and looking a little distressed.
What happened?
I was unsuccessful. The spirits are still there.
Then perhaps we should take a different approach to cleansing the spirits.
He grunts and his eyes sort of flutter open, and he sees the 2 of you, and he just begins to, who are you? And like rolls to his feet, but it's very clear that he is inebriated. And so like when he gets to his feet, he begins to sway unsteadily. What do you want? Who are you?
Please make yourself comfortable, Hade. We haven't come to do you any harm.
What are you here for?
We're looking for a friend of yours, Doji Hiroshige.
His expression immediately becomes nervous. And he begins to sort of hyperventilate a little bit.
We're not looking to hurt him. We just want to find him and ask him some questions.
Go ahead and make a sentiment check.
Sentiment.
Mhm.
Sentiment.
TN2.
I can't roll for sentiment.
Can I roll for sentiment?
You can spend a void point.
I could, but I wouldn't.
Okay,
Can I try and make a sentiment check?
sure.
He's afflicted with evil Maho spirits. Did not cleanse him.
Bad.
That was for fun. Okay, so I'm going to make a sentiment check. And this is to calm him down, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use water.
Okay. TN1.
Okay. I'm getting good at this. Ooh. Good thing. I'm going to keep that that success and strife from the 6. So I have a success.
How much strife are you sitting at?
Well, I thought it was more than it is. It's just 4.
Wait. Oh.
My composure is 6.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm the one with the 4 composure.
I have 14, so
So I'm not looking stressed. I'm just feeling a little stressed right now.
yeah. I mean, your ritual did fail, so
Mm-hmm.
So he basically tells you the same thing that Amano did about the night that Hiroshige disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he witnessed a portion of Hiroshige's kidnapping on his way back from visiting Ikue. He saw a trio of men dragging Hiroshige out of the wallow, following the street of lowering clouds. And he shouted and started to pursue, but then one of the men turned around and shouted something. And he says that it sounded kind of like a prayer, maybe, but there was something wrong about it. And then I was afraid, and I've been afraid ever since. And then he begins to just openly weep. He's like, it was magic. It's some kind of curse. It made me into a coward. And he just goes on like this for some time.
So where did you see the men taking him?
He didn't see.
Oh,
He said that they were going out of the wallow, down the street of lowering clouds, and then got hit with this curse and then fled.
can you describe the men that took him?
There was a large Ronin with a tattoo, but that's all he knows. He hasn't seen him since.
And how many were there?
3.
Was that the man who shouted at you?
Yes.
Where was the tattoo at?
On his neck.
What did it look like? Do you know?
It was dark. You didn't see
Mm.
exactly what it was.
Please take comfort. I may be able to help, but not immediately. I need to go spend some time in reflection and meditation and feeling sorry for myself. She doesn't say the last part. She just thinks it really hard.
He doesn't really have much else to add. He is just broken down and is weeping openly.
All
I
right.
don't think we get anything else from him.
Yeah, I think we can leave him for now. But I think there's definitely something foul afoot, and we may need our full strength to investigate it.
Can I buy him dinner or something? So that he'll stay here and just hang out until we can get back with
It's pretty unseemly.
Oh, to buy him dinner?
He is a Ronin.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll just place the order. We'll deliver.
Please take this to the stable and give it to anybody crying in the straw.
We know he smells like shit. It's fine.
That's fine.
Or we can just release him from this demise or this peril. And
I feel like Takuma suggested that briefly.
I mean, he is a Ronin, so
He was like, we can try another approach. And I was like,
Well, whatever Maho he's affected with right now doesn't seem to be threatening us, but it may. If I am ready to deal with it if it becomes a threat.
You suspect, Sayaka, that due to his proclivity for opium, his weakened psyche might be particularly vulnerable to Maho.
as they're headed back, she's going to say that to these two. And point out that we should definitely be concerned that one of these kidnappers is able to curse with evil spirits.
So maybe some kind of Shugenja in their employ.
Mm-hmm.
Sayaka and Takuma, both of you know that Maho does not require to be a Shugenja.
Oh.
It is able to be cast from any caste, samurai, peasant, doesn't matter, spiritual or not. All it takes is blood and the right knowledge, the knowledge of the implications.
All right. Well, if we are dealing with Maho, then we should be prepared. We should take a look at this this other alleyway. I guess in the what is it? The Street of Lowering Clouds.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Yeah. Maybe pay a visit to the Golden Dream again. And see if we can find some more information on these other Ronin.
I would like to go home and have some tea and some sleep before we
Get ready first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
begin chasing evil spirits.
So I think we should retire to the inn at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way to the inn. Doesn't take you very long to get there. And when you arrive, you're met with Chio and her two sons, and they both, or all of them, seem to be catering to their night crowd. Offers you sake and something to eat if you haven't had it already.
Sake seems like a good idea after Maho.
I think scorpions tend to eat alone.
I mean, I guess it would involve you taking your mask off, so that would make sense.
Yeah. I can't remember. I remember there's some flavor like that where they don't tend to eat and drink in public or something like that.
Not always. I mean, they're not like Mandalorians where they're honor bound to do it. You know.
Well, no, but there was some other thing to it. I remember having Sammy do it before, but no worries.
Put it this way, you don't have to. It's not a hard and fast rule.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that most of them do.
Can she, instead of sake, she'd love to get some actual tea. I don't think I have the, I think I need rituals too before I can actually make like the tea ceremony.
Right.
But just, she'll feel a lot better once she's had a chance to sit down and sip.
Yeah, so you are able to indulge in a very pastoral, unrefined brand of tea that is common in tortoise lands,
Mm-hmm.
but it's different, and you enjoy it. Different. You enjoy different. So that would qualify you for pursuing your passion, and you can
Oh.
earn 3 strife.
Okay. Excellent. She'll offer it to both of you too. If you
I'm good with just the sake.
Sammy will have both.
You
so
monster.
diplomatic.
He will take off his mask and regale you with his beauty.
Oh.
Does Sayaka swoon?
A little bit.
Does Takuma swoon?
No.
He does, just a little bit.
So the 3 of you are sharing drink. What do you talk about? Well, I finished my dinner.
So, based on what you've seen of Hare, and the fact that he probably didn't think he could take down those 3 guys by himself, do you think the 2 of you could take his kidnappers?
Yes.
Naturally.
Then I will wake up with my mood much improved, confident and eager to find them and return Otomo Hiroshige to his family. Just as soon as I figure out how I'm going to keep you guys from getting cursed.
I suppose we don't know where exactly he's been taken yet, but we at least have an idea now, so we can use that to our advantage and deal with this issue before it becomes more of a problem. If there's Maho involved, then I think it's a greater threat to the Tortoise Village as a whole, and perhaps maybe something a little bit more concerning than just our ocean person suspect.
Yes, I expect much blood will be spilt in the next coming days.
I beg your pardon? Why though?
Maho users.
Oh, that kind of spilling blood.
I was fine with either kind.
What do you say?
I said I was fine with either kind.
I hope that won't be necessary.
Sometimes it is. Whatever gets the job done the fastest.
Unfortunately, such people should not be left to linger or be allowed to be live.
I'm sorry, she doesn't laugh. She frowns.
Unfortunately, this is a grim duty for us all, honorable samurai. Especially when it comes to Maho users.
What would be my samurai alternatives to murdering people?
Capturing them and interrogating them, I'm guessing. Or capturing them and bringing them in to be dealt with by the proper authorities. But
Are we the proper authorities?
yes.
I'm reading through these shuji, and these are great. If I know all these, I'm excited.
But yeah, I think that in this situation, there's only so much that we can do ourselves other than just capture people and then bring them to actual justice somewhere else. I guess a lot would depend on just your.
If we had more people here, perhaps, but I don't find that the village would be too helpful in that capacity. Like I said, I feel like just we'll have to brandish steel.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said? We'll have to do what?
Brandish our steel.
Oh. If the town has been making a profit on this blue flame opium, and it is somehow connected with Maho, we may find ourselves overwhelmed by rabble.
It's possible, but I think for the time being, we should just follow our current leads. Maybe not go push our luck too much further, and then report what we find out to the capital once we return.
When she says that last bit, she keeps her head down and almost mumbles it.
I don't think everybody here is a consumer of opium, but it does seem like a large portion of the town does partake in it in some capacity. So
A large portion of the town does what to partake in it?
partakes in something dealing with the opium. So we should just be prepared for whatever is to come.
I do not think it's possible to be prepared for whatever is to come, but I think I understand what you mean.
Yes.
And we are well prepared with the information that at least some of his Maho comes in the form of making people afraid. As I'm probably the one they would target last for that sort of thing, I hope you'll both steel your resolve.
I would probably target you first.
Would you?
Yes.
That is a touching compliment.
Phoenix are renowned for setting multiple people on fire at once when the occasion arises or needs that kind of a answer.
Sorry, say that one more time.
And Phoenix are renowned for answering the call for something like that when it's necessary. They know when to forsake peace.
They know when to forsake peace?
Yeah, or let it go.
Out of character, I'm not sure I understand what he's insinuating.
And they know how to fight when push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not the total pacifists like they think they are, is what he's saying. Like,
Okay, that's kind of what I thought he was saying.
they know when the needed calls, like they'll just nuke the shit out of something, like, if need be.
She frowns very thoughtfully and sips a lot of tea.
Have you ever killed somebody?
No, I have not.
That's fair. It is not an easy prospect. Not one to be taken lightly.
It gets easier after the first time.
I hope not much easier.
It depends on the reason, but
Maho's a very good reason.
Yes.
Yes. I suppose of all the reasons that there are, Maho is a very good reason.
Let me turkey gobbler.
Oh, sorry. It's my water bottle.
This town has a turkey problem.
Turkey Maho.
Well, we know how that ends. So, after a while, unless anyone has anything else they want to talk about, everyone decides to retire, and you all awaken as the sun is rising, as fastidious samurai are wont to do, and convene in the common room, which is currently empty, ready to hopefully put an end to your investigation and get to the bottom of all of this.
So I guess spent last night trying to remember how to set someone on fire.
Was there anything else that we needed that either of you needed before we take a look into this this matter?
Mm-mm. Ready to do my duty.
Just to make sure we're on the same page, our plans for today are to ask about a large Ronin with a neck tattoo cautiously.
Well, we can either ask about it, or we can just go take a look at the place that Hade was describing. And
Right.
see if we can find anything ourselves. I
We
don't
know about this man that he frequents the Waiting, or at least has been seen at the Waiting Cat.
Who's this? Hade?
The Ronin, because they kidnapped him from the Waiting Cat, right?
No, he was. He was kidnapped from the Golden Dream.
Oh,
The Hade, Ronin Hade worked at the Waiting Cat.
okay. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah. So they had gone to the Waiting Cat, and then afterwards they went to the Golden Dream, and that's where he got kidnapped.
Okay.
So, as you guys step out, it doesn't take you long to find the street of Lowering Clouds, and it's basically just a path that goes right out of town, like into the outskirts of town.
Mm. Outskirts of town towards the docks, or other way?
Other way. The docks are in town.
Got it. Okay. Do we wish to give pursuit? It's been some days now, by now, right? At least a week?
At this point, I don't think you have any clue what you'd be looking for out there.
Okay. I have tracking as one of my special skills.
Yeah, that's way too long. Even for an expert tracker.
Sure.
Well-traveled road.
So the samurai, the crab samurai that died, was in the middle of a well-traveled road.
No, that was in the alley next to the Golden.
Golden.
Oh, okay.
Hade saw Hiroshige being taken down this road out of town by 3 men
Oh, okay.
and tried to stop them, and then got hit with a Maho spell
Gotcha.
that made him a coward. Therefore, he did not pursue.
Well, so I guess the road itself does appear to be traveled by other people.
Well-traveled.
Well traveled. Okay.
Well, then I guess the only other option would be to go to check the alleyway next.
You can look at the alleyway. You can go to the Green Rest. You can look for the Scorpion. You technically didn't ask about Hiroshige really at all at the Golden Dream.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You didn't?
Mm-mm. You asked about Amano.
Oh.
Let's check
I
out.
think we should get some more information before we try to follow roads that we don't know about.
I would like to investigate the alleyway. I know it's been some time since he died, but I would be interested to see if there are any lingering traces of Maho there.
Sure. I think we should do that.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
And it's right by the Golden Dream.
Yes.
So you guys begin to make your way back into the wallow. And eventually you come to the alleyway in question, which is currently not covered or, there's no police tape or anything like that. But that does not mean that it is devoid of anything interesting.
How do we investigate? I guess that would be...
What are y'all's vigilance?
Ooh!
Vigilance.
2!
2.
Where is vigilance?
Vigilance is 2.
Yes.
Okay. So all of you, as you look around, you are all pretty vigilant, and therefore you all manage to find in various places remnants of dried blood and raw opium ground into the earth. Yeah. Same way you would know that there's not really much to find here at the scene, but if you wanted to know more about Suzaku herself and her condition, you'd have to talk to the Barakaman and the Etta that deal with the corpses, which are well on the outside of town. They have a little village to the north of the town.
Suzaka, the crab lady.
Yeah, this is where she died. So you can see evidence that is the case, but there's no body, and you don't really get anything other than there's some dried blood and some opium.
Right. Gotcha.
I'll be right back 1 second.
And if you want to know more, you may have to go consort with the non-people that live over there.
Gotcha. Well, other than what little we found here, if you wish to know more, Torakata-san, I would say that we need to go visit the Edda, those that deal with the dead.
I think that may be best. I think we should perhaps find out exactly what happened to the Yaski who was here.
I feel like that would probably be pretty good. They might even still have the corpse.
So you guys make your way into the Etta village, and immediately anybody that sort of comes across your path goes full on, knees on the ground, forehead on the ground, prostrate in your path. Well, they move out of your path, but yeah, like they take no chances knowing that they are less than people to you.
Seme seems like he's dealt with this before. He doesn't seem fazed by this. In fact, he just seems to kind of like doesn't even like he does the way he looks, and the way he walks is like it's almost as if he doesn't even realize like they're kind of there. This just doesn't seem to phase him whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I will just continue following Seme as we head to our destination.
Seme will stop and ask one of the Edda where exactly the I guess the
Or the people who handled that are.
yeah,
Yeah, it
because
doesn't.
you don't mention death or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
So go ahead and make me a command check as you seek out people that you need to find. What approach do you take?
Let me get back into this spot. Okay, you said. Fuck. Command. Okay. I guess I'll just use fire.
Okay. So it's a TN2 command check.
Make these people afraid of me, I guess. So command is 1 and fire is 3. So where is Discord? So /R 3d6 plus 1d12.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 4, 3, 9.
So you would keep the 9, the 4, right?
9, 4, and 3.
Mm-hmm. And take a strife.
I have to take a strife?
Well, if you keep the 4, it's a success and a strife. The 9 is regular success. The 4 is a success and a strife, and you need a TN2.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was good as wrong. Okay. Whatever way not doesn't let me take a strife.
That's the only way that you succeed.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll take a strife.
Okay. You can go ahead and use that opportunity to nullify the strife if you want.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you basically take them completely off guard by even wanting to consort with them.
Mm-hmm.
Magistrates generally don't even ask them for information.
Mm-hmm.
But they tell you that you find a group of them and manage to gather them together, and you find that Yasuki Suzaku was beaten heavily, but the cause of death appeared to be knife wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Her body showed signs that she had been kept as a prisoner, such as rope burns and chafing on her wrists and ankles. One wrist and hand were severely abraded, and it bled heavily, suggesting that she had her hand forcibly pulled out of a manacle.
Mm-hmm.
They kept her clothes and eventually sold them. You know that are allowed to do that with unclaimed bodies. and they say her clothing had thick dust and many wood splinters on it, as though she had been inside a dirty wooden building. And there's also raw opium ground into her clothing, as though she had fallen in it or lain in it. And they would guess that it may be this sort of place might be one of the various warehouses on the outskirts of town that the gangs and smugglers control.
And how would somebody get to these warehouses?
There's a lot of them, and essentially they just sort of ring the outskirts of town.
And I'm assuming that the road that we saw also leads to the outskirts of town.
Yes. So it seems reasonable that she may have been held in a warehouse somewhere. So now you just have to figure out which one.
Yes. Christ. Do they know how many warehouses there are in total?
A couple dozen.
Mm.
This is a port city, so there are a lot of warehouses.
Any of them known to be notorious for smuggling or whatever? Smuggling and
Almost all of them. Most of them are, either owned by gangs or by smugglers or the tourists, who are both. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any of them that belong specifically to the are known to be connected to any of the opium dens?
They don't know that. They don't really deal in any of that.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll ask them. They were looking for someone with a tattoo on their neck.
They've seen him, but they don't get close because he has been known to kill Etta.
Do they know where he usually stays at? I would think that if they
have no clue.
Oh,
Where
I
are
mean,
they?
like, I guess a good, vicinity, but never mind.
Yeah, they don't get close to him. They've seen him from a distance, but they don't make any effort to follow him or keep tabs on him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where do they normally see him?
Coming to and from town, but they don't have a specific destination.
All right. Well, I think this is the most that we'll get out of Theeta. So we may have to investigate somewhere where people know a little bit more.
Okay. Do we want to check out the go to the Green Rest, or do we want to go back to the Golden Dream?
Well, considering he got taken out of the Golden Dream, I think maybe we should check there.
What did I miss?
What?
Did you get kicked out of the Golden Dream?
No, we didn't get kicked out of the Golden Dream.
Oh.
They went to the Etta village.
Okay.
To talk with the people that handled the Yaski's corpse.
Got it. Sorry. I was like, oh, you guys got kicked out. Kicking out a samurai is a big deal.
All right. Yeah, I think we should. Any objections to go into the Golden Dream?
Mm-mm. That lady was such a delight before. Shouldn't say that. That would be a lie.
Okay. So you head back, and once again, after a while, you're confronted with Aoi, and she just looks utterly like over the novelty at this point of these clan samurai coming in, and she gives you a bow and says, just really gruffly, "Can I help you?" Her big bodyguard is there too, crosses his arms.
We're here for some more information.
Does he have a tattoo on his neck?
He does not.
Just checking.
Does she have a tattoo on her neck?
She does not.
Does she want one?
We're looking for somebody with or I guess I should ask first.
Go ahead and make me a command check.
All right. We'll do Earth with reason, and let's see. I'll from earlier.
So it's 3d6, 1d12, I think.
4d6.
Oh, yeah, 4d6, 1d12.
All the Earth.
Mini Earths, mini blanks.
Many Earths. All right, so so we have a exploding success,
And a strife.
a strife, a plain success. So we keep the 6, the 8. I have to keep 4 of them. I guess we'll keep 1 opportunity and 1 blank.
Okay. Go ahead and reroll your 6. If you would like to. Bonus successes can matter here.
Yeah. What was the TN? I guess the TN was
It was TN2.
TN. Okay. Yeah. I'll go ahead and re-roll for the extra. It's blank.
Okay.
So I'll take a strife.
Yep. So you basically command her as part of your, investigation as a magistrate, or a Yuriki to a magistrate at this point, to tell you basically everything she knows about, Hiroshige and the connections that you have found thus far. And she basically confirms that 3 of her more frequent customers, Kasuga Toru, Hiroshige, and a Roman named Fubato, all vanished in the last few weeks. Toru was the most recent, probably 5 days. And that this isn't the first time that this sort of thing has happened, but it is quite unusual for so many samurai to vanish at once. But yeah, she confirms all of that, and so it just sort of depends on what you ask from here on out.
Okay. Well, I guess. Yeah. Go ahead.
If you want to ask about the blue flame as well. Blue flame opium.
I guess first I'm gonna go ahead and ask if she's seen anybody with, or any Ronin with a tattoo on their neck who has come by here in the past few days.
She thinks about this for a moment and says that she has seen this man around, but he doesn't partake. He just sort of lingers in the area.
I guess I'll ask if she remembers anything about the night that Hiroshige was, I guess, taken out of the Golden Dream.
Basically, she tells you the same story that Amano had, but she is much more brusque and unsympathetic to them. And she says that Hiroshige left the place after running out of money, and Toru was thrown out after getting into a quarrel with another customer and was never seen again. and that lines up with Toru getting kidnapped after getting thrown out.
Does she know anything about the or I guess so the neck tattoo guy she said comes in or just hangs around like the
He
general?
hangs around the area around like the wallow, but she doesn't come into the golden room.
Okay.
Golden room.
Does she know anything about his cohorts?
She doesn't seem to.
Do you know anything about Blue Flame Opium?
She smirks. Would you like a free sample?
No.
Do it.
I think Sayaka says she wants some though. Something to take the strife off.
You know what? Yeah, I do. I do want a free sample.
But
Seriously?
it is offered here.
Can I take a free sample home and
if you're
check it for Maho or check it
you're-
for baddies?
if you're willing to forfeit some honor. It's very unsamurai like to take free samples. Drugs.
Go ahead.
You know, I think that she will forfeit some honor for this.
Okay, go ahead and forfeit 4 honor.
Okay? Ouch. Yep, she'll do that.
So what were you gonna say, Sammy? She basically just tries to shrug you off if you try to go in more detail.
He just asked, is this Blue Flame Opium a gaijin make, or is this something? What's the word? Local?
Are you how are you asking this?
I mean, he's trying to be circumspect about it. I guess. Like,
I mean-
he's not trying to.
The more circumspect you are, the more leash she thinks she has, and she just sort of keeps batting away your questions.
Well, if that's the case, then he'll get more tight with it. Like, just more blunt.
So if you leverage your magistrate position, she will tell you that it is a new drug supplied by a gaijin merchant named Zif, who is can be found at the docks.
He remembers the boat that was in town. Is that his boat?
Very likely.
Gotcha.
But that seems to be about all she knows.
Okay. I don't know anything else.
Yeah, we need to pinpoint, I guess, which warehouse we end up needing to go to. I guess I'll ask her if she knows anything about the warehouses on the outskirts of town. Are there any that are used by the Golden Dream?
There are, and she assures you that nothing untoward is in the warehouse that the Golden Dream utilizes.
Is
That
it just,
Honda utilizes.
is it just one?
The Golden Dreams is one, but Boss Hana has several.
And I guess which warehouses are not owned by?
There's some owned by Yaguro, some owned by several of the Tortoise. There's a lot of.
Sorry, I gotta step away again.
You good?
Okay. Hmm. I guess I'll also ask her about the crab samurai, the Yasuki who was here, if she knew anything about what happened.
She sort of like smirks at the mention of the crab samurai and says that she frequented the Green Rest more than the Golden Ring.
And does she know anything about how she ended up in an alleyway by the Golden Dream?
She has no idea.
Would you say that since her death, others have been afraid of the Green Rest?
I'm
Has
sorry. What'd you say?
Would you say that it's made people wary of the Green Rest, even though she was found near here?
Not really. It doesn't change business. Addicts are addicts, right?
Of course. She says with the opium in her pocket.
I guess I don't know. I don't know if she really explained this the same way or not, but what exactly makes the Blue Flame opium so special? Why is it more appealing than?
It's much more potent.
Let's see. All right.
She suggests that this sounds like something that Kizo is more likely to be behind.
Sounds like something Kizo's more likely to be behind?
This whole disappearance thing. She suggests you go after him.
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
And that jogs your memory that there was another name that Kizo had mentioned that you haven't looked into yet.
Yeah. I think that we should go ahead and take our leave here and take a look at the Golden Rest, or not the Golden Rest, the Green Rest. I think I don't. It doesn't seem like that we're making much headway with anything in the Golden Dream right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys make your way out to the Green Rest, which is much deeper into the wallow, and the mud gets a little thicker around here. And
Before they get there, Sayaka wants to murmur to Seimei, who's gone, and Toritaka. I'm at a loss as to why these multiple people have disappeared so far. I don't yet understand what benefit is coming from their deaths.
I'm not sure either, but it does seem that all of the ones who have gone missing are people who frequent these opium dens. Perhaps maybe it's something more sinister than we think.
if Maho is involved,
It's definitely sinister.
that's 100% red flag of really bad stuff.
Yeah. Just looking at the body of the Yasuki samurai that we found, it appears that she was put through some things, and perhaps maybe whoever is kidnapping these people is using them for maybe, I guess, for the purposes of Maho, perhaps. That would be my guess.
Do you think that they're targets of opportunity, simply taken when they are disadvantaged because they've been thrown out, or do we know?
It certainly seems that way. Whoever's behind this doesn't seem brazen enough to, I guess, attack anybody of real status. They've only kidnapped people who are downtrodden and down in their luck.
I don't think that it has to do with money lending at all. Or at
No.
least, since it doesn't seem as though they are doing anything to encourage others to pay their debt by these disappearances.
No, but they are targeting only the people who have these deaths, and so perhaps it's a elaborate way to cover it up. You know, if people go missing and they also happen to have a considerable amount of debt, then it makes it more likely that they would be brushed off as having been dealt with for their debt.
Certainly. And I've lost my paintings to wipe my shoes with.
Indeed.
It's all right.
So-
We can stop and get you some new sandals at some point.
So, as you make your way to the Green Rest, as you pass inside, the large interior chamber of this opium den is lined with grubby, threadbare futons, but only about half of them are currently occupied by customers. A skinny and almost desperately nervous older man scurries forward and greets you with clasped hands and a wide, slightly thick smile, his head bobbing in repeated short bows. As he does so, a wooden shutter in the smoky back of the den slides open, briefly revealing a candlelit room and the silhouette of a slump-shouldered elderly man. He seems to peer out at you for a moment before sliding the shutter closed with a bang. The man in front of you bows some more and welcomes you to the Green Rest and asks what your pleasure is.
We're looking for to speak to Yaguro.
He pauses for a minute and he sort of just wrings his hands for a moment and says, "Certainly, give me 1 moment," and he scuttles off to that area in the back.
This does not seem auspicious.
He comes back after a few minutes and says, "The boss will meet with you,"
Thank you.
and leads y'all to the back room, in which you see the elderly man, pot-bellied, sitting behind his desk, fanning himself, and he looks incredibly frazzled and says, "Samurai-samas, what can I do for you?"
We're currently investigating something for I guess the Imperial City. We're looking for someone by the name of Doji Hiroshige.
Ah, I know him. Doesn't pay his debts on time. I suppose you're here for the other ones too.
Just him. Although, if you have any information about the others, who are you referring to here?
A crab, one of your clan mates. Yasuki Suzaku went missing. Body found later. We know the story. She was a regular of ours. The tortoise too, Kasuga Michiko, disappeared as well. And I heard rumors that some of the regulars of the Golden Dream disappeared as well. Kasuga Toru, he visited here every now and then.
When was the last time you saw Doji Hiroshige?
At least 10 days. He never came here much. But I do remember that, I don't know anything about any of the specifics on the disappearances, but I do know that, and, I couldn't bring this to the tortoise. They don't particularly care or want to figure anything out. But you seem like a sharper lot. I know that Suzaku-san was talking with a big Ronin with a tattoo on his neck the last night that she was here. I remember because I haven't seen him before. He wasn't a regular.
What else can you tell me about this this individual?
Pretty intimidating, as men as Ronin go. Haven't seen him since though, so I don't really remember many details other than the tattoo.
Have you ever seen others like him before?
Ronin are a dime a dozen in a place like this.
But specifically with the tattoo.
No. There's no affiliation for any kind of gangs or anything like that, if that's what you mean.
Do you know what the tattoo is of, or what it looks like?
I only briefly saw it. I just knew that it dominated most of his neck.
You don't know anyone else who's tangled with him, do you?
Oh, I'm sure others have seen him. There's whispers about it. This individual being connected to these disappearances in certain circles.
I don't necessarily mean others seen with him. I mean, do you know anyone else who's been in conflict with him, who's argued or...
Like I said, I've only seen him once, so I don't know.
I understand. What do the whispers say?
What I just told you.
I see.
If you ask me, I think that he probably works for Boss Kizo.
Why is that?
It's the sort of damn thing that bastard would do.
What other sorts of things like this has Kizo done in the past?
Well, he's cutting into my business, that's for sure.
Selling opium?
Being a bastard.
Do you know anything about his benefactors? Or have you heard anything about them?
I think he deals with some uppity tortoise smuggler.
Do you, Yumiko?
I guess that's it.
Do you know where one could usually find Yumiko?
She's usually by the docks.
Out of curiosity, how does someone like Kizo interfere with your business?
He's always cutting in on turf, killing men, violence in the streets.
Do you know who he employees to do these killings?
There's not a lack of people that need work in this town. No one in particular.
Let's see.
He doesn't seem keen on selling opium, so how is he impeding on your turf?
He's got the backing of the tortoise.
I see. Do you know anything about this blue flame opium?
That stuff is killing my business.
Oh,
Everyone would rather go to the Golden Dream than here because their stuff's just better.
Do you know where they get it from?
Skygen make.
What do
My
you
guess-
think?
My guess is that ship keeps showing up in the harbor.
And what about this? What about Hana? Does she have a firm grasp on the?
She owns the Golden Dream, so I would say so.
Do you think Kizo would be interested in? Do you think Kizo has the connections to? Take her out of business?
I don't think he wants to. I think my racket's easier to take over. It's probably coming from me. But if a lot of you were looking to shift the balance of power, I could show you where that tortoise has her warehouse.
Sure.
He whistles, and the hunched man comes in, and he tells him to fetch a map. And the old man comes back after a few minutes, and Kizo shows you, or Yaguro shows you a map that leads to a warehouse that is along the street of lowering clouds outside of town.
is this Yumiko? Her
Yeah.
warehouse? Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's over there now, or are we? Actually, have to take him up on his offer to go over there.
I want to perform a check to see if there's bad spirits in this opium before we do, if that's okay.
There are none.
Oh, okay.
You might
Then
see
we'll
bad
just
spirits
save
after
this
you
for a
take it.
really stressful night. What'd you say?
I said you might see some bad spirits if you take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, no, you're going to have a very restful night if you use it.
Mhm.
Very relaxed. And this is how Sayaka got a new disadvantage.
Alright. See, I guess we'll head to the warehouse with Yaguro's escort person.
No, he's not going to send anyone with you. He
Oh,
just
he's not?
points out, like, if you're going to mess with it, this is where you should mess with.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then, yeah. I mean, do we have any other questions for Yaguro? Or
You sound a little muffled there, Dan.
oh, sorry. Do we have any other questions for Yaguro?
What do you know about the? Do you know anything about the Scorpion Bayushi Nizo?
Not really. He's one of the few that doesn't partake, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where one can find him?
He lives in the merchant district somewhere, I hear.
Okay. Do you know how long he's been here?
Years.
Gotcha.
If he doesn't partake, I wonder why he was friendly with Hiroshige and Hare.
Who knows? Not me. I don't pay attention to that sort of thing.
Fair enough.
Well, if that's all, I have business to attend to.
I have nothing further.
Nor I.
Thank you. We'll leave.
And so our three intrepid samurai make their way along the street of lowering clouds to the outskirts of Slow Tide Harbor towards Kasuga Yumiko's warehouse. And that is where we'll end this session.
Oh man!